Greetings and salutations, this is JTR Raps, and welcome to the channel. If you're new, I appreciate you for taking a chance on me to present my perspective on this here case. Here I talk pro wrestling, sports entertainment, whatever's your flavor. I've got content on the channel you don't want to miss. Check out my cover on New Jack, the stories during the times that he spent in Smoky Mountain to the controversy surrounding him are nothing short of mind-boggling to say the very least. I talk about Hana Kimura and her untimely passing, Nicole Bass, everything from murder, scandal, biography, it's all here. And yet this week we're back with yet another true pro wrestling story. If you're a returning subscriber, then you already know what it is. Let's jump right in. This is the case of Tessa Blanchard. Intro, please. Tessa Blanchard, who was once undeniably a rising star in the world of professional wrestling and the topic of conversation for best women professional wrestler in any promotion. She's been widely praised and arguably in the same discussion as elite women, the likes of Charlotte, Sasha Banks, and Becky Lynch. She carried herself like a superstar and at, I think, age 26, became the very first woman to win the top championship in a major promotion. Not a stranger to making history, Tessa Blanchard shifted the paradigm in women's wrestling when she captured the Impact Championship. She wrestled the longest women's wrestling match of all time, having shared that honor with Mercedes Martinez in a 75-minute Iron Woman match, which set a new historic in pro wrestling at the Rise 10 Insanity event. She was a trailblazer and on the verge to greatness, a multitude of accolades from world championships to a major film credit. She was Florence Pugh's stunt double and performed all the moves in the Fighting With My Family film about Paige and the Knight family, produced by none other than Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and she was a WWE prospect. Then controversy was raised seemingly out of nowhere, at least from the outside looking in, because according to some female talent, there's been ongoing animosity with Tessa Blanchard for years on end. Remember the tweet? Innocent enough, right? Nothing out of the ordinary, no raised flags. Now, little did we know that such a simple tweet would have sparked such a backlash from her fellow co-workers. What the hell happened? She was undeniable, the diamond. Fans were literally fan booking where she would end up next. She was WWE bound. She appeared in the Casino Battle Royale at AEW All Out. So what the hell happened? Her lineage? Let's talk about that. And where supposedly all went sideways. Tessa Blanchard is a born and bred product of professional wrestling. Her grandfather was Joe Blanchard, who played gridiron football for 3 seasons with the Edmonton Eskimos in the Canadian Football League before he made his pro wrestling debut for Stampede Wrestling in Calgary. He attained championship gold when he captured the NWA Hawaii Tag Team Championship, as well as the NWA Texas Heavyweight Championship. And he's an inductee of the George Tragos and Lou Thesz Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame. Her stepfather is Magnum TA. His accomplishments include winning the NWA United States Heavyweight Championship, and he was preparing for a run at the NWA World Heavyweight Championship before, unfortunately, he was forced to retire after a car accident had left the right side of his body paralyzed. He feuded with the Four Horsemen, including a feud with Tully and Baby Doll. Finally, we all know who her father is. Tully Blanchard, one of the founding fathers and longtime member of the Four Horsemen. WWE Hall of Famer, Cauliflower Alley Club inductee, a multitude of championships across varying promotions, and presently manages FTR and is a member of the Pinnacle in AEW. Her family is nothing short of pro wrestling royalty, who were also in attendance with the rest of the Blanchard clan, front row and center at the Hard to Kill pay-per-view for her big win. Once Tessa decided to make that leap and follow in her family's footsteps, not only did she exceed expectations, but the third generation superstar became a prototype of sorts. She was the first in her family to raise a world championship above her head. Now, albeit an important event for both Tessa and Impact Wrestling, there will always lie an asterisk next to it. Her reign would be engulfed with a dark cloud of controversy in the hours leading up to her historic win. Accusations of bullying and an alleged incident that took place between her and a fellow woman she shared a roster with in Japan. Tessa Blanchard, who had previously debuted for the World Wonder Ring Stardom promotion in 2016, but returned in April of the following year to take part in the 2017 Cinderella tournament. The incident in question occurred during this particular time period. That innocent tweet I mentioned, well, the way I remember it, former Impact knockout Sienna, if you remember her, aka Allison Kay, was the first to call Tessa out for her condescending tweet. Here's what she tweeted. Remember when you spat in a black woman's face and called her the N-word in Japan? Was that you supporting women? The audacity of this tweet. Now, obviously that's a very strong allegation or accusation, but backed up by the majority of her fellow co-workers. From then, the walls came tumbling down just like Jericho. Seemingly every woman who's had a run-in with Tessa throughout their careers came out the woodwork with their own testimony and or acknowledgement of what transpired. Everyone else from Chelsea Green to current NXT superstar Gigi Dolan, AEW star Rebel Nariba, Shanna, and Renee Michelle, among others. The woman in question goes by the name of Black Rose, aka La Rosa Negra, if you happen to follow her run in Stardom or anytime throughout her career. Very entertaining in the ring, she loves to dance and twerk in the face of her opponents, yet she's skilled in that square circle. She both addressed and confirmed the alleged incident in a sit-down interview with the Puerto Rican pro wrestling multimedia Contra Lona. Tessa Blanchard vehemently denied the accusations brought forth against her with a series of her own tweets in response to both Allison Kay and Chelsea Green. In her initial response, she posted the following. Not true. That's my statement and the most attention I'll give it because of how actually ridiculous it is. Yet she did, however, give more attention to the situation by addressing Chelsea Green's accusation of belittling and bullying her fellow co-workers, to include Green herself. She had this to say, I've never been anything but kind to you. I've dealt with mean girls since I started. Not saying I'm a saint. Hell, I've had my ups and downs, and I've made silly decisions. Such is life. You have zero merit in your comments, instead putting me down here for a little clout. You've got my number. Current Impact World Champion Moose was seemingly the only one who came out in defense of his fellow co-worker and good friend. He questioned the timing of the tweets because they surfaced the day prior to her historic match with Sami Callihan to determine the new Impact champion at the Hard to Kill pay-per-view. They reared their ugly heads on January 11, 2019, and the Hard to Kill pay-per-view took place on the 12th. Indeed. Tessa addressed the racial slur and the bullying numerous times in a series of follow-on tweets and loosely addressed the controversy surrounding her to the audience in Dallas following her historic win once the broadcast had went off the air.
This has been my life. Sammy and O'Reilly have been the thorn in my side, and tonight we did it. Nobody in this life is perfect. We're all human. And it doesn't matter what you say about me. It doesn't matter what you call me. I've got one of the strongest minds that I've ever known. So whenever you come for me, you come for all these people. And I am now the standard bearer of Impact Wrestling. And man or woman, pound for pound, I am one of the best in the world. And I am now your world champion.
Now, with all of these accusations of being a locker room bully, the racial slur, allegedly spitting in the face of a black woman, Black Rose to be exact, etc., what in the world is Tessa Blanchard up to nowadays? Well, Blanchard once again made history once Viacom CBS Global landed a multi-year distribution agreement for the relaunch of the WOW Women of Wrestling promotion in 2021. It was announced during a press conference that new episodes will be airing in the fall, with both Tessa and AJ Mendez, aka AJ Lee, appearing for the promotion, with Lee positioned to be executive producer and a color commentator on the shows. The total number of streaming subscribers of Viacom CBS summed to nearly 47 million viewers around the world. This undeniably gave Tessa Blanchard the biggest platform of her career. You know where this is going. So Tessa Blanchard was deemed to be nuclear by the industry, if you hadn't heard. Word on the street was no promotion would touch her beside maybe NWA, for instance. Not WWE, not AEW, certainly not Impact, and even some indie promoters won't touch her. These claims are backed up by the sheer amount of backlash the WOW promotion have received while enthusiastically promoting Tessa's nuclear status as a catchy tagline on a new t-shirt. Fans came pouring in to express their disdain in such a way that would most certainly derail WOW's marketing ploy. So WOW decided not to shy away from the controversy and the reports of Tessa's nuclear status, but instead decided to go and run with it in order to attract more viewers to the product, which has definitely backfired because, if anything, has cast a huge shadow over their relaunch. She recently signed with the promotion after spending time as a free agent after she was let go by Impact, and there were sightings of Tessa training with WWE stars like Sasha Banks, Bayley, and former WWE talent Kalisto at the Hybrid School of Wrestling based out in Texas. She was seen training with Dustin Rhodes alongside her husband, Daga, and independent talent at the Rhodes Wrestling Academy. Reports even surfaced of Tessa coaching Bayley's superfan Izzy back in the Hybrid Wrestling School. So despite her current status, which may not be going away anytime soon, she seems to be doing all right for herself. Now, the way I see it, she may be in the same nuclear category as, say, Chasing Rance. If you're unfamiliar with his situation, he's a longtime veteran and pro wrestling trainer in the Square Circle, who was one of many wrestlers who were put on blast resulting from that speaking out movement. He's also a registered sex offender. I covered his story as well. Definitely go and check that out if you get a chance. So that wraps things up for this week's episode of True Pro Wrestling Stories. Post your thoughts in the comments section below. Let's discuss, what did you like about the cover? What didn't you like? Leave a like, share, subscribe. Help a small-time YouTuber out like myself. Until the next one, I'm out. Stay safe.